With a single Rumpus server, it is possible to create multiple virtual servers that give users access to different content and with different appearances. The first step is to create domain names for each virtual server. This is done through your DNS registrar and is really independent of Rumpus. You can also assign multiple IP addresses to the server, but multiple IP addresses aren't necessary. As long as users access the server using different connection URLs, Rumpus can detect which virtual server is being accessed and present the correct interface. In most cases, each virtual server will grant users access to a unique content folder. However, assigning individual content folders to each virtual server isn't necessary, since home folders can easily be assigned to Rumpus user accounts. In other words, to make sure each user sees the content they need, simply assign that folder to the user account. A Web File Manager display interface, however, will need to be set up for each virtual server. This is done on the Web Settings window by creating a domain for each DNS server name you have set up. Start by opening the Web Settings window and flipping to the Appearance tab. Next, click the Edit Domains button to open the Domain Management sheet. A default domain is automatically defined in Rumpus and is always available. Additional domains can be created simply by entering a name and clicking the Create button. The name of each domain you create will match exactly each of the DNS names you have assigned. For example, if you've populated a domain name called files.acmewidgets.com, then you would enter that domain name as the name of the alternate domain in Rumpus. In this case, I've assigned two IP addresses to the server, 192.168.1.101 and 192.168.1.102. The first IP address will be the default domain, so I'll create a second domain with the IP address set as the domain name. Again, in cases where multiple DNS names have been assigned to the server, create one domain for each DNS name, with the exact DNS name supplied as the domain name in Rumpus. With the new alternate domain created, we close the sheet to return to the Appearance tab. The domain pop-up now allows us to choose the domain we would like to work with. I'll start by customizing the default appearance. Next, I'll customize the alternate domain appearance. For this domain, I'm going to install the boxes appearance. I'll also alter the color scheme for this domain. Note that as I change the active domain, the appearance settings change accordingly to reflect the appearance of that domain. With the appearances set, I'll close the Web Settings window and then launch a web browser and connect using the first IP address. The display matches the appearance defined for the default domain in Rumpus. If I log out and then reconnect using the second address, the interface changes accordingly.